please be honest with me. Tell me the truth. Do people just like you and me like stuff? Especially now during this Christmas and holiday season, don't more people just love more stuff? So what does it mean to be a faith-based millionaire and yet have wealth, success, and prosperity? Well, I got the story to share with you, a story from the Bible, from the words of Jesus himself, why faith-based millionaires necessarily don't celebrate Christmas. What? That's correct. So let's get started in this episode of the 7 Figure Squad Scripture Series, starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Never short stopping, now I'm winning like I'm Jeter. Steady through the rigor, yeah, I'm getting bigger. Was fighting in them trenches, now I'm making 7 figures like.
What's cracking, everybody? Money Smart Guy Matt Zapala here, hailing to you from Dallas, Texas, and welcome to another episode of Vlogmas, where we're putting up an episode every day from December 1st all the way until Christmas. But if you haven't done so already, and you think our channel and this episode has provided you value to start thinking like a millionaire, so therefore you can start strategizing like a millionaire, so therefore you can become a first generation cash flow millionaire, please click like and please click subscribe, because our goal is to get to 150,000 subs, so therefore we can award a church, charity, or nonprofit a $5,000 check to help them help and serve other people. So here's some interesting facts about Christmas and holidays. Let's check this out. In 2021, experts predict that online retail sales will make up to 25.5% of total retail sales. Shoppers started holiday shopping as early as October. By Black Friday, 29% of consumers have completed a significant portion of their holiday shopping. Which, by the way, it annoys me when the media calls you and I consumers. Check out this recent clip I had on the news.
What do you think people are going to do? Are they going to really go shopping now, or are they going to just procrastinate and be very disappointed?
Of course they're going to procrastinate. My hope is that Americans today reframe that the fact that you can call consumers, that reframe the thing that they are producers and creators of value. Maybe this holiday season, they're like you, Agent. Maybe they discover hidden power within inside themselves and find a way to create value for people that have a better life during this pandemic. So they're going to go into 2022 profitably, economically, and potentially as an entrepreneur.
Now, back to some of these facts. Check this one out. In 2021, more than 51% of consumers plan to start their holiday shopping before Thanksgiving. 83% of shoppers said in recent surveys that convenience is more important now than 5 years ago. Now, consider this. Look at your phone. Or consider your phone, your iPad. How many apps on your phone are there for you to spend money or send out money? Apps like Starbucks, DoorDash, Uber, Lyft, eBay, Amazon, PayPal, Venmo, Zelle, Cash App. On the flip side, how many apps do you have on your phone that allow you to have money come inbound to collect cash? For most people, I believe that the ratio is like 25 to 1. You see, since birth, since we were little, you and I have been conditioned to spend and splurge money. You know, let's go on a shopping spree. And Christmas and the holidays give so much reason for you to do that. Now, please don't get me wrong. I like having nice things. I like wearing nice clothes. I like having nice cars. I like having a nice home. I love living in a very nice neighborhood. I love sending my kids to good schools. But what does the Bible say about money in the handling of possessions, things? Well, you've heard me say in previous episodes that there's over 2,300 verses about money in the Bible, and approximately 500 when it deals with faith and prayer. Now, in my faith, the Christian faith, Jesus is the reason for the season, not the pageantry of the Christmas tree or stockings or Santa Claus or anything like that. And even in Jesus's ministry, majority of his conversations and storytelling was about the handling of money. He called them parables, stories. 38 of his parables was spoken, and 11 of them was specifically about money and handling of money and possessions. So over 28% of Jesus's ministry and teachings in parables were about money. That's a pretty significant amount of his talk specifically about money. Think about this. Look at your 401k statements. Imagine 28% of your 401k is invested in one particular stock. Well, that's exactly what Jesus did with his conversation with you and I about money. Now, I want to share with you one of those parables. It's the parable of the rich fool. Now, before I jump into this parable and my takeaways from this parable, I want to, again, disclose to you, there is nothing wrong, I feel, about money, liking money, having a lot of money, because after all, money opens a lot of doors for you. But here's a warning though. It's the love of money that gets people tripped up. So here's several scriptures here, about 5 of them, about what the Bible says. Now there's a bunch of them, but here's some scriptures here about what the Bible says about money. 1 Timothy 6 verse 10 says, for the love of money is a root of all kinds of evil. Some people eager for money have wandered from the faith and pierced themselves with many griefs. Hebrews 13:5 says, keep your lives free for the love of money and be content with what you have, because God has said, never will I leave you, never will I forsake you. Ecclesiastes 5 verse 10 reads, whoever loves money never has enough. Whoever loves wealth is never satisfied with their income. This too is meaningless. Proverbs 15 verse 27 reads, the greedy bring ruin to their households, but the one who hates bribes will live. Psalms 37:21 reads, the wicked borrow and do not repay, but the righteous give generously. Pretty interesting, right? Never thought that money would be so packed in the Bible and what God's perspective and opinion and factoids and guidance and rule says about money. Because here's the stark reality. When I look at the Bible, I look at the first 3 chapters of the Bible. And by the time the 3rd chapter begins, not only has man been created, not only did man have a job, not only did God give man a wife, not only did man have dominion over everything here on earth, but starting chapter 3, man fell. Man made bad decisions. And for the rest of the Bible, man continues to make bad decisions, and God continues to give us instructions how to get through those bad decisions. So if you're anything like me, don't you make sometimes bad decisions? Well, what's your reference manual? What's your values and principles to get to and through those bad decisions? That's why I've chosen to follow the Bible, because the wisdom in the Bible transcends the test of human history and humankind through good times, bad economy, good economy, marriage, divorce, war, famine. Now, at this point of this episode, if you affirm with me that you are continuing to seek deeper truths and deeper relation with God about your money, put in the comments section below. I am seeking truth with money. I am seeking truth with money. Put it in the comment section below if that is going to be your affirmation that you're going to use to get deeper and dive in your relationship with God in 2022. So let's jump into this parable of the rich fool, a story that Jesus talked about in Luke chapter 12, verse 13, verse 21. It reads like this. Someone in the crowd said to him, teacher, tell my brother to divide inheritance with me. Jesus replied, man, who appointed me a judge or an arbiter between you? Then he said to them, watch out, be on your guard against all kinds of greed. A man's life does not consist in abundance of his possessions. And he told them this parable. The ground of a certain rich man produced a good crop. He thought to himself, what shall I do? I have no place to store my crops. Then he said, this is what I'll do. I will tear down my barns and build bigger ones. And there I will store all my grain and my goods. And I'll say to myself, you have plenty of good things laid up for many years. Take life easy, eat, drink, and be merry. But God said to him, you fool, this very night your life will be demanded from you. Then who will you get what you have prepared for yourself? This is how it will be with anyone who stores up things for himself, but is not rich towards God. Wow, a lot was said in that parable. Here's my takeaways from that parable. Number 1, money is simply a magnifier. I'm believing that in this parable, that this brother was the younger brother or a business partner, and he was having a dispute with either his older brother or a brother that he was in business with, and say, you know what, come in here, hey Jesus, do this, so therefore I can tell my brother that you told me to do this. How many times have you seen that in people? Well, somebody said to do this for me, you got to do it. So he's looking for Jesus as leverage. He's looking for Jesus' side by him. So therefore he can leverage his brother. Hey man, Jesus said for you to divide inheritance with me, and you can't say no to me anymore because Jesus, this Son of Man, he said, divide our money, the one that you're holding, that dad left to us, now you need to give it to me. And Jesus felt used. Jesus said, listen man, you think I'm going to come here and just get in between your family? Who am I? I'm not the person, I'm not the mediator here, I'm not the arbiter, I don't even have any context. So the bottom line is, sadly, money in relationships, sadly, is the greatest divider of relationships. So if you don't get your relationship with money tight, if you don't have a plan for your money, You don't have an open conversation with money. But bottom line, money magnifies character. If you've got great character, you're a giver, you're a provider, you're a manifester, and life is not all about money and possessions, but you're a great generator of cash, well, money is only going to magnify those characteristics. But if you are greedy, you're somebody who says, man, me, myself, and I judge myself based on what I wear. I judge myself on other people, but what they wear and what they drive and what they own and where they go and all those different things. Money is going to magnify your greed versus the fact that you like to give. So what do you want money to magnify in you? Number two, my takeaway is this. There's a big difference between ambition and coveting. Yes, coveting. What does covet mean? Basically, covet means you want what somebody else has. You want something out there, you want this possession, you want this title, you want this success, you want this dollar amount, and you covet it. You want it, you desire it. But there's something that slips. Just keep in mind, in Exodus chapter 20, verse 17, it reads like this. You shall not covet your neighbor's house. You shall not covet your neighbor's wife, or his manservant or maidservant, his ox or donkey, or anything that belongs to your neighbor. And if you didn't already recognize it, that's the 10th commandment of the 10 commandments that God gave Moses when he came down from Mount Sinai. And remember, keep this in mind. God is always the center of what you do. God is always the center of what you are. God is always at the center of what you get. Because God not only gives, but he can also take. And again, you have to understand that I believe that you and I came here with nothing, and sure, we're going to leave with nothing. As much as we love to have and gather a lot of money and possessions and things, you can't take a U-Haul truck up to heaven with you with your stuff. You're going to leave it to people here that you leave behind. So what I've discovered in my relationship with God, and many others have discovered too as well, that there's such a fine line between ambition and coveting and wanting and desiring and wanting to excel in life. That's why it's such a touchy subject, and why Jesus dedicated a good percent, 28% of his ministry, to making sure you and I have a clear understanding about how to handle money, success, prosperity, and possessions. Number three, it's you versus God. Now, do you want to compete with him? Well, you got to understand that God is in charge. God is in charge of your money. What keeps me humble, what keeps me in a position of, listen, man, what's the next? What's the next? What's the next? Because I just feel that I deserve nothing, that I've been given everything because somebody upstairs, God trusts me upstairs. Hey man, I need you to trust you with these children. I need to trust you with this wife. I need to trust you with this business. I need to trust you with the people I send to and through your business. And sadly, God won't keep you from pain. As much as you think that God is supposed to be protect, sadly, God has created this thing called pain to teach you. I heard Bruce Lee one time said, the only time pain leaves itself from you is when pain is done teaching you. But if you keep repeating the same cycle over and over and over and over and over, guess what? Pain will still keep coming in your life. Why? Because you're wrestling with it. You think, yeah, you're in control. Oftentimes I talk about me coming to the Lord at 30 years old. Why? Because at the time I was 29, 30 years old, my life was a mess. Married, divorce, family court, bankruptcy, debt. All these things were happening to me. I told myself at that point, I looked up, I said, look, Matt, you tried it your way. You might want to try in a different way of attacking life. And at that point, I found myself in church. I said, Lord, I've done it my way for 30 years. For the rest of my life, I want to dedicate it to your way. Not to say that overnight my life was to be completely turned around, because there was a process. It took me 30 years to get in this ditch. It's not going to be 24 hours for me to get out of this ditch. I had to go through a transforming and transformation type of process. You see, at least here in America, because I know we have a lot of different countries watching these episodes these days, but in America, we have the United States dollar. And in the dollar and on our coins, what do we have? It says on there, boom, in God we trust. In God we trust. But do you really trust God? Do you really say, in God we trust? The founding fathers of the country said, in God we trust. This United States of America was created because of these God-fearing Christian faith-based believers that said, in God we trust. God was in the center of the creation of the United States of America. And sadly, throughout society, things have deviated away from this. I mean, consider this. Christmas wasn't Christmas until 300 years after Jesus died. The pagan holidays started creating this thing called Christmas. And they said in the 1800s here in the United States of America, it came about retailers and shopping and buying things and shoving gifts under the Christmas tree. By the way, take a look at our Christmas tree. How many gifts do you see under a Christmas tree? How many gifts do you see under a Christmas tree? See, we're not about that life. Now, don't get it twisted. Please go out and magnify and multiply the talent, the gifts, the resources, the opportunities God has given you. Don't ever forget, you, my friends, are designed to do something powerful, beautiful, and special for God. Not for you, not for the gifts under your tree, but for God. Christmas is a time to remember Jesus and to celebrate God-given family and relationships. It's not time for fortune, selfishness, and gluttony. What matters more than how we celebrate is what we celebrate. As long as we get that right, we're on the right track. If you feel that God has given you a dream, please don't go ask other people's opinions about it. There's a saying that goes, if you have multi-million-dollar aspirations, you want financial freedom and independence in your life, don't ask the broke person about it. Ask God that gave you that inspiration and dream about it and see what He will do in your life. And what an amazing gift that is. Please don't forget, as much pageantry and Christmas trees and stockings that we have about this season, it is not about that, nor any other holiday for that matter. Don't forget that this season is about giving. This season is about gratitude. This season is about grace and not things. Now, if you're firm with me, put in the comment section below. I am celebrating the reason for the season. I am celebrating the reason for the season. And hint, hint, to remind you again, it ain't about stuff. Now, with that being said, I'd love to know your thoughts, your comments, your feedbacks. I'd like to know what the judgmental Christian community say about this Christmas tree behind me. But anyway, guys, listen, all love. I appreciate you all. Put your thoughts, your questions, your feedback in the comment section below. Before I let you go, please check out these two videos right here. Number one, how the Bible made me a millionaire. So if you want to become a faith-based millionaire, check this out. And what are you becoming a millionaire for anyway? And the other video right here is signs that you're not broke. You're just lazy. And what to do about it, please check out this video right here. Please put your thoughts, your questions, your comments, your feedback in the comment section below. And if you're watching this on Facebook, make sure you click like and follow our business page, Money Smart Guy. And if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you click like, subscribe, and hit notifications to be alerted the next time we upload our next episode. From Dallas, Texas, I'm your Money Smart Guy. And until we meet again, continue to live smart, continue to love smart, and be money smart today.